Hello, this is the latest snare drum, well actually of the collection overall, but it is the latest Craviotto as well. I almost actually picked this up by accident about 3 weeks ago at the London Drum Show. And I got it from my buddy Andy at Drum Shop in Gateshead. That is a plug, by the way. Andy does more Craviotto stuff over here than anyone else I'm aware of. Anyway, I know there was a shop in Ireland that did some Craviotto stuff. I don't know if anyone else really does Craviotto over here anymore, but either way, I got it from Andy. Andy was running I suppose a joint. I don't know what the deal was, but he had the Craviotto stand at the London Drum Show anyway. And in between waiting around for Mr. Craviotto to come along so I could get him to sign my anniversary drum head, which is out in the other room, I ended up talking to Andy about these snare drums. In fact, David Victor as well, who was also there from Craviotto, had a chat with him, and that was really cool. I got to know a little bit more of the background of these particular drums, and but in between, as I said, waiting for Mr. Craviotto to turn up and sort of generally bumming around the show, I picked up this snare drum. It was by accident, quite genuinely by accident, although my wife wouldn't actually believe that, but it genuinely was the truth. It's the 14 6.5 inch in matte black version of the Solitaires. The Solitaires is a really quite a recent drum anyway. It's a metal drum. If you haven't seen it anyway, it's a metal drum. It's got very, very thin shells. Well, they have very thin shells. They're made from aluminium. The bearing edge on is in fact, the shell as a whole is very reminiscent of rondinette. And my immediate sort of guess at who was making the shell was actually rondinette. It turned out it's not. It's someone else. And I did read on the internet who that was supposed to be, but it's another company in the Illinois area anyway, who's making the shells for Craviotto. But in fact, I'll get this out. Get it out without hitting the other drum. So right, you've got these rather lovely nodal lugs, 10 lugs. I suppose they're sort of fairly thick, triple flanged hoops. They definitely feel very sturdy. Pretty cool Solitaire badge there. I guess the most sort of obvious and striking feature about these particular drums is the diamond pattern that's cut out. Goes all the way around the shell, top and bottom. So there's no air hole because there's no real need for one. But the result, as you'll hear, the result of having all of these little holes cut into the shell is that you get quite a dry sound. The shells overall are slightly undersized as well, and I won't try and bend this to the camera so you can see, but from this angle here I can actually see through the bottom head there. So the Chick GS007 strainer, as sort of pretty much always these days. You've got the standard butt plate there as well. You've got the Remo Hazy on the bottom with the Craviotto wires. Now the drum actually did come with a Remo coated ambassador on it, and I took the drum out. In fact, I played it in here a couple of times, and then I took the drum out to just to play and do a gig with. I think it was the week after I got it, and I think it must have been a bit of a Monday morning head because the coating started coming off of it fairly quickly, and I don't really hit that hard. So I've never had that problem with any of the other Craviotto logo heads, so I'm just going to assume it was a Monday morning head. But I thought, having played around with that though, with the sort of the stock head on it, I thought I'd actually try the coated CS head on it anyway, just to sort of dry it out a little bit more, or I suppose control the overtones a little bit more. It seems to work quite well, actually. I recorded this the other day just for a sort of bit more of a formal review, and the initial sound is quite cool, I thought. I've got this now as a sort of moderately sort of tight tension. I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll do it at this tension and I'll detune it a little bit so you've got a slightly fatter sound. But yeah, the result of the head is sorry, the result of the holes is that it just basically really dries the sound out quite a lot, which is quite noticeable. As I said, you won't really be able to see the bearing edge. I have actually taken some photos of the bearing edge when I changed the head the other day, so you'll be able to see how thin the shell is, and the bearing edges come up sort of more to that sort of point, which again, as I said, I mean I picked this up, I looked at that and I immediately sort of ronned the net because it's basically the same way that he does his edges. The funny thing was when I took this out to play it properly for the first time at the gig I did, it actually felt like playing. It felt like playing Mink actually, which is the first drum I got from Ron 10 years ago now, which was or it still is. It's a 13x7 stainless steel. That hasn't got I got that drum before he did the hype event, so basically that's got no air hole at all in it, and this and that drum feel very much the same, very much the same sort of vibe when playing them. So that was obviously it's a result of the edge design, I think, more than anything else, and the thinness of the shell. Pretty cool though. That's really it. There isn't much more of a story to this one. It's just that it's a pretty cool drum. They're designed and I think intended to be for the working drummer. They're not terribly expensive, and you know it's a metal drum. It's obviously not. It's well, obviously it's not wood for a start, but it's not. I've got no problem with the quality of the workmanship. It's certainly it's withstood the gig I did with it and the playing that I've done with it. There doesn't seem to be any issues with the overall, as I said, quality. Just sort of looking at it. It's not done by Adrian Kirschler either. So whereas the previous metal drums that Johnny's sort of put out have been sort of collector's pieces, high end stuff. This, as far as I'm aware, and I don't think I'm wrong in saying this is unlimited. So it's not like the other metal drums, and it won't cost four figures either to buy it, which is always cool. Yeah, that's kind of it really. As I said, this is the 14 6.5 in matte black. I probably will at some point, I would imagine, try and get a 5 as well. Well, at least I'll see. Historically, I've said that the 5.5 inch sizes, for some reason, for me, don't really sort of work as well. Don't know why. I think I may now. I've got they're actually in here now, and I've got some different drums in the cabinet in the house. I might actually try them again and see how that works out. But yeah, for now, I'm quite happy with the 14 6.5. I like this size. It's a great size. Well, for me anyway, it's a great size. And yeah, I'll play it now. You'll be able to hear what it sounds like, and hopefully you agree it's a pretty cool sounding drum. So cheers. Thank you. And I've now tightened the head up so it's quite tight.